Sir, I have two questions. Very impressed with the way it has been implemented. I'm from Finance Department, Joint Director, Accounts and Treasuries. I have, in fact, two questions. One is, how did you tackle the Marathi typing? Because that is where I suppose there is a hitch. Everybody doesn't know Marathi typing. How did you handle that when you implemented this process? That is the first thing. Second thing is, there are certain documents like registers, certain other documents which are prescribed by law, by rules. So standardization, while you did standardization, whether you have come across some kind of compromising situation where you had to change it, and if you have done so, then what is the statutory position about that?
See, the first question about Marathi typing, one thing we must understand is all the clerical staff is well trained in typing Marathi, and also they won't have any problems. The problem will come at middle level managers and the top management. So we have used the Google transliteration, in which you just type in English and it will come on. So that method has been used to ensure that the files are handled and tackled effectively in Marathi. And now regarding few of the registers which are mandated by statute, wherein you have to maintain certain records. Like in collector office, we have land acquisition proposals, which you have to maintain in a particular physical form also. So what we have done is that the entire process will take place on e-office, so that the document preservation is there. Meanwhile, when we are storing the documents, they will be stored in a sequential manner in the particular land acquisition office, so that in case the court of law requires it, the documents can be made available. So that is one place wherein we have made an exception of the CRU, that these documents will travel to the land acquisition office and they will be stored over there. Similarly, the court cases management system, which is yet to come on this system, what we have done is entire thing travels on e-office, but the corresponding record is maintained in a serial manner and put in the concerned person who's handling the court cases. So that is where right now a bit of parallel system is existing, but there is no parallel processing. Processing is only through e-office.
Hello. Yeah. This whole change which you have carried out, have people taken the notice of e-office you have implemented, and how they are looking at the whole thing happening in Sindhudurga? I mean, way they perceive the government offices, has it changed because of implementing e-office?
As I covered, because of paucity of time, I have not been able to show you the reactions by the citizens. Almost every 3-4 days I get a letter from some of the citizens that what we experience now in Sindhudurg is totally a different experience. They don't find it like a usual government office. And today the best thing that has happened is that in case suppose he files an application to collector office and he knows the number, he can track its position from anywhere. He just has to go to Tehsil office and he has to tell him the number, that this is the number, I want to know what has happened to my letter. It can be. So citizens have also reacted very, very positively, and also when they come to the office, they get a much better response. Imagine a clerk sitting behind a stack of files and not being able to do anything or not being able to reply. And a person who's very, very neatly sitting, he has the entire office of his, he's asked a question and it is readily available on a click of a mouse. So citizens are also giving a lot of good response to the system. They are saying that once, yes, we do have certain issues of speed sometimes, so that time it becomes difficult. Otherwise, when the network is working properly, when the citizens come, their information is given to them within no time. So they are also reacting very, very positively, and to the extent that our public representatives are so happy with this system that now nobody can tell you that something has happened and it has been done by someone else. Everything is very, very clean and transparent, that where and what is existing. So it has been appreciated by public as well as public representatives, and even the employees are happy.
So I have a very simple question. When you scan, you said files come in and they are scanned and then put to the CRU. The file format that you normally prefer is what? Is it JPEG? When they are scanned? So they are all saved as images?
No. When we scan, all these documents are saved in PDF format.
Okay, PDF.
And then the PDF file is forwarded to the concerned section, and it is attached as a reference or a correspondence to the concerned file.
So from JPEG, after scanning as an image, it gets converted to PDF.
We convert it into PDF, and then the PDF is moved.
Right. Okay. Thank you very much.
Now we move to next presentation.
I had one question.
One more question. Yeah.
Hello. Yeah. So I think this is an amazing initiative taken up in Sindhudurg. Just wanted to know, since the entire initiative has led to improvement in productivity, what has been the negative implication, maybe from the staff or the task force, probably who is more free now? So has there been a retrenchment, or have they been mobilized for some better tasks? How was that handled?
I didn't quite get your question. Can you just...
See, when people, our staff becomes more efficient, obviously some of them can be moved out to some other kind of work, retrained and do some other kind of work. And in typical government offices, there are 15-20% vacancies.
Okay.
So definitely, rather than retrenchment, it leads to basically more optimum use of resources and employees not getting that much overload. That's the immediate impact. And within government, there is enough lateral movement possible within office or in nearby offices, and that also keeps on happening. For example, in dairy development department, it happened. And normally, even in our treasuries, when we went checkless, I found that in a typical treasury, there is 60-70 people in a district treasury, and about 20 are focusing on reconciliation. So when we go checkless, this 20 comes down to 2 or 3 people requirement.
Right.
So others can be used up in those areas where public interface can be speeded up.
Okay.
So that's the way slight reorganization happens. The similar things will happen here, but
Okay.
in some period of time.
Sure. Thank you.
Sir, good afternoon. This is Ramani from DIT. So 2 questions, sir. Number 1, in terms of the size of the team, let's say if other district wants to go about implementing that, what would you recommend in terms of the technical size of the team, and what sort of participation is required from the district officers or other officers themselves, and what was the volume in Sindhudurg of your team, the core team of your office? Number 2, when you went for digitization and you would have scanned the previous files and put it in the transition into e-office, while doing that, did you take a digital signature on all the scanned files from a designated authority to make them legally valid?
Regarding the volume of work, see, as far as my district is concerned, I have number of employees are less because of vacancies or whatever. And the division of the work, if we take any government office, the amount of work and the number of people who are posted will be commensurate to any of the government offices. Like I have 350, even if I have 3,500 employees, the work a clerk will do will be the same. Only thing which will change in e-offices that how do you manage the physical interface? That is the central registry unit. So that is the critical part, because that unit is going to scan and send the concerned paper to the desk. Once it arrives at a desk, then there is no difference whether it has 6,000 employees or 600 employees. Only problem or only area of concern will be the physical interface as well as the connectivity. So that can be worked out. To give you an example, I think Collector Office North 24 Parganas, it is one of the largest collector offices, and Collector Office has about 600 employees. And they are operating e-office on a local area network, and it is working perfectly fine there also without any issues. So it is not the number of employees, it is how the physical interface is managed and how your network is managed. That is all you have to do. And second thing which you asked about is migration of the physical files into electronic environment. If you know that each physical file which is there, your correspondence is numbered. Secondly, each note sheet which is there, it is signed by all the employees. So you do not have to resort to signing the file yet again. Means whatever is scanned, it already has the signature of the concerned person. And when we are closing it in e-office, as it is, the day it is closed, it is marked by the concerned branch head that this file has been closed and migrated onto the e-office. And when you migrate the file, your note sheet is migrated in the note sheet section and your correspondence is migrated in the correspondence section after due numbering of each and every paper which is there in the file. So as it is, you don't need the signature of the concerned person because signatures are already appended. And then the next note sheet starts in the electronic mode.